Many of us take great pride in trying to predict the game's next superstar players. We can often remember the exact game an up-and-coming young talent breaks out, and we declare to anyone who can be bothered listening to us that this player is destined for AFL stardom. The players mentioned on today's list all had huge games of football in competitions outside of the AFL, but their performances demanded all of our attention. I'm Jackson from Off the Play, and here are 5 individual performances that foreshadowed AFL greatness. Number 1, Tom Mitchell, Sydney Swans Reserves vs Eastlake from the NEAFL, Round 8, 2014. This game is absolutely unbelievable. It's like when you play AFL live and you feed the ball to one player to try and askew the stat numbers. On this day in 2014, Tom Mitchell finished with 64 disposals, 23 contested, 41 uncontested, which is the highest ever recorded by Champion Data in a state league or under 18 competition since the company began recording statistics in 2006. The 20-year-old stat sheet consisted of 28 kicks, 36 handballs at 78% disposal efficiency, 4 goals, 5 tackles, 14 marks, 12 clearances, 27 handball receives and 16 hardball gets. He also had 4 goal assists and 22 score involvements. Mitchell picked up 18 disposals in each of his first 3 quarters and 10 in the last to finish with 64. That equated to a total of 243 AFL fantasy points and 269 Supercoach points. Despite posting arguably the most amazing Australian football stat line any of us have ever seen, Mitchell failed to get a recall from Swans coach John Longmire the following week. Mitchell, of course, would later be traded to Hawthorn, where he claimed the 2018 Brownlow medal. Number 2, Max Gawn, Casey Scorpions vs Bendigo Gold from the VFL, Round 14, 2014. Despite standing almost 7 foot tall, Gawn wasn't the most highly touted junior prospect. He was drafted at selection 34 in the 2009 AFL draft and struggled with injuries during his early years at the Demons. His football took great strides in 2014 while playing for Melbourne's VFL affiliate, the Casey Scorpions. In round 14 of that season, Gawn finished the game with 26 disposals, 5 tackles and a goal, while breaking the VFL record by recording 80 hitouts against the Gold at the Queen Elizabeth Oval in Bendigo. It really reminded me of a 16-year-old who lied on his birth certificate to play in the under-12s competition. Gawn just did as he wanted. I'm pretty sure he recorded a couple of other 20-plus disposal, 70-plus hit-out games en route to the Casey Scorpions Best and Fairest Award that season. Of course, now the rest is history, with Gawn being one of the best ruckmen in the whole competition. Number 3, Steele Sidebottom, Murray Bushrangers vs Dandenong Stingrays from the TAC Cup 2008 Grand Final. For many young kids, the TAC Cup Grand Final is the last chance to showcase your talents in front of AFL recruiters. The big audition. We saw as recently as this year in the now called NAB League Grand Final, where eventual first selection and now current Gold Coast midfielder Matt Rowell picked up 44 possessions and kicked a couple of goals. But no footballer has had a better TAC Cup Grand Final than Steele Sidebottom's performance in 2008. The Murray Bushrangers midfielder picked up 32 disposals and had 10 goals. 29 of his 32 touches that day were kicks, and he also grabbed 13 marks. Getting 32 disposals in a game of football is quite an achievement in itself, and clearly kicking 10 goals is a rare feat, especially these days. To do the both in the one game is simply unbelievable. This game certainly catapulted Sidebottom to the fine career he has had at Collingwood. Number 4, Brendan Provola, the Millennial Match, 1999. The Millennium Match. Who could forget it? It's even a part of the Carlton Blues Classic Matches DVD box set. Just under 20,000 fans were at the MCG that day on New Year's Eve in 1999 when Carlton absolutely thrashed Collingwood to the tune of 88 points. The Blues that night unveiled a future superstar full forward of the competition in Brendan Provola, who booted 12 goals on Mal Michael, mind you, to secure his team's victory and his future in the game. Funnily enough, Brendan Provola revealed how he ate 2 McChicken burgers and drank 2 cans of Jim Beam before that game, so perhaps it was a good omen by the big Fev. He did say that he tried to eat a couple of McChicken burgers after, but it never quite worked for him as well as it did that night. But simply an amazing game, and one that is certainly etched in football folklore. Number 5, Chris Judd, East Perth vs West Perth from the WAFL, Round 1, 2002. After being selected 3rd overall behind Luke Hodge and Luke Ball in the highly touted 2001 Super Draft, the Eagles had a shiny new toy in Victorian midfielder Christopher Judd. Over time, the story of Chris Judd's first game of senior footy in the WAFL has gained almost mythical status in Perth. Judd played for the East Perth Royals and absolutely dominated that afternoon at Leaderville Oval, foreshadowing his trademark burst from the stoppages and finishing in front of goal. He had plenty of the football and kicked 4 goals from the midfield, as East Perth kicked away after quarter time to win the match by 76 points. Judd's possession count that day varies between 25 and the high 30s, but we do know that he polled maximum votes in WAFL's Sandover medal that year. Rumour has it East Perth coach Tony McHale said to fans and players post-match, "I hope you enjoyed that, because this kid will never play WAFL again." He never did. The dual Brownlow medalist went on to play 279 AFL matches, captained both the West Coast Eagles and Carlton, won a Norm Smith medal and a premiership, and is one of the all-time greats of the game.